Okay, here is our trip to Belize. So Belize is in Central America, as you can see. Our trip started with a Bloody Mary for me at 6 a.m. at the Tucson airport before we got on our first flight. And then this is us, that's lovely, from Mark at the Dallas airport, where we had some drinks and talked about who was likely going to get more sunburn based on our natural skin color. And here's me waiting for our last flight until we make it to Belize. And we got this kick-ass rental car, a brand new Kia from Etienne at Hertz. If you're going to rent a car, I'd say get it from Hertz for sure. They were super helpful, and it was a really, really easy process. It's expensive, but it's no more expensive at Hertz than anywhere else. It's just expensive to rent a car, period, in Belize. So we stayed at a hotel the first night just because it was so late. That was maybe 20 minutes outside the city, called the Black Orchid. Here's Mark enjoying his cigarette after a very long day of traveling. We immediately went to the bar and were the only people there and played some cards. Jay, the bartender, made me the best dirty martini I maybe ever had. And then we had dinner at the restaurant there, and I had curried chicken, and Mark had the kind of national dish, which is stewed Belizean chicken. We met our first of many dogs on the trip. This was kind of the hotel dog, Duke. And then we hung out on the porch for a while of our hotel room. What's your favorite part?
Thus far, the booze and the food.
Booze and the food. And Duke, the dog.
And Duke, the dog. And we got a cool car for...
And we got a cool room. That bed's cool.
That bed is cool. Remember we got the dope-ass car?
Yeah, I know. I love the car. And we've got a cool room right by the pool, and that is the restaurant. There is the bar. You can't see through the massive trees. But this place is great. Good morning from Belize. All right, on the Belize River. Morning walk. We found this little bar next door with this great sign that I loved. And we were right on the Belize River, so which was didn't look great for swimming, but was a really nice setting to be in. We had a fantastic Belizean breakfast. And then I have a little tour of the hotel.
Look at this. This is the back way where I put.
The back way?
Yeah, or if he just took us that way to show us the pool. I imagine he took
Oh.
us this way. That's the thing. Oh, God.
Doors are so pretty. Yeah, every door is kind of different.
It's different doors, though.
What a cool place. Can we stop for 1 second so I can pee?
Yeah.
And then we got in our car and headed to San Ignacio, which is basically all the way inland, right on the border of Belize and Guatemala. And we were going here to see ruins. So here's a little bit of our drive. When we got there, it was a little early to check into the Airbnb, so we found these ruins right in town called Caye Caulker, and I took way too many pictures and videos, as you can see here. It was super hot, super humid, but really, really a really beautiful setting. And Mark, truthfully, is obsessed with ruins. I don't care one way or the other, but it was fascinating and really beautiful. Like what did they do here, you know?
Just like temple.
Like lived?
Yeah, I think sacrifices stuff. Oh, they did. I might be buried.
No, thank you. Does it go anywhere else?
No, it just stops right here.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on here? Sex parties?
Sex parties? Maybe. It's pretty dark. You couldn't see who you were sexing. Maybe that's the point.
We can go up the other way. It's sketchy as fuck. You can flip them down. Oh, maybe I can go right.
I think you can go over there, but it looks a little.
I think you can spin around.
Whoa.
Marco. Oh, it's all crazy. But it's like, it's obviously
It's like a maze.
no, but think about it. It's like, this could have been like a battle pit or something.
Cool.
Oh, they're like,
No. Do not take my picture. I also was dripping in sweat, so I refused to allow Mark to take any pictures of me, which is why there's just copious amounts of pictures of him. I'm filming you, filming this. Huge, beautiful palm trees. Then we got in the car and headed to our Airbnb. We saw this sign, which we thought was hilarious because it says orange, but the sign is red. And then we arrived at our Airbnb, which was this kind of tree house. It was on this family property. They had 9 acres and it was just beautiful. The front porch had a hammock. The inside was simple, but like really perfect. A little kitchenette, bed. So beautiful. Little kitchen. Bathroom. So we decided to head out to lunch, and there wasn't much open because it was a Sunday that we arrived in San Ignacio. And so a lot of the town was closed down, but we did find this place to eat. And right after we sat down, it poured rain. So after that, there wasn't much else to do. We couldn't go see the ruins because of the rain that day. So we headed back to our Airbnb to have some cocktails and then went out to a restaurant called Toluca Smokehouse. It was a really interesting setting, and we got a meat plate. Didn't tell us what meats. It was just 5 different meats. Looked beautiful. There was definitely 2 meats on the plate that we couldn't identify. And Mark he's like a carnivore. So the fact that he couldn't identify this meat, it was a little frightening. Woke up the next morning planning to go to the ruins, hoping to go to the ruins, had some coffee. The owners of the Airbnb made and left this amazing breakfast right on our front porch for us, which we thoroughly enjoyed. And while we were eating, the owners had several dogs that lived on the property. The only 2 names that we caught were Duke and Feisty, and then there was a third one that came also, and they all came and hung out with us. Goodness. Look at how cute and little. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's a dog party. Oh, my buddy. Hi, people. We really clearly enjoyed these dogs. Hoping the rain would stop, but it didn't let up. And the ferry that you need to take to get to the really big ruins there was closed. So we left a day early and headed down south and back to the coast to Placencia. And on the way, it was about a 3-hour drive. So on the way, we found this really cool looking store called the Art Box. Here's the front of it. And I was just fascinated by this store. So we spent a good amount of time in here actually while we kind of waited for the rain to let up. This was the most cool, amazing bathroom that I had ever seen. This just awesome wall of chairs, tons of furniture, art supplies, just a little bit of everything. It was really, really, really neat. We got back on the road and we're driving through the torrential downpour, like in the deep, deep jungle. It kind of reminded us of one of our favorite TV shows, Lost. So we decided to get out at one point so that Mark could take a picture, because it was just, you can't really tell from the picture. It doesn't do it justice. But those kind of hills in the background are just covered in thick trees and jungle.
Look at me.
So we finally arrived to our Airbnb, which this was one that we were both really excited about. It looked super funky and weird. This house is so cool. Wait, bathroom. I feel like these lights on the stairs don't work. It's going to be rough when we've been drinking. Balcony. There's the pool and the lagoon. Bedroom, and this window, it opens like this. And then this shower. Huh.
You should go and love yourself.
Weirdest fucking house.
Hi guys. So I'm going to finish narrating the Belize video, and there's like 50 minutes left. And I'm going to narrate the parts that aren't video, just the pictures. And then the videos I'm just going to let kind of speak for themselves. But I'll be honest, there are a lot of driving videos in the golf cart, and you can sometimes hear myself and Mark's conversation, sometimes not. It was the number one activity we did. We did it all the time. And so for a lot of that, you might want to fast forward. I don't know. There's a good amount of driving around in the golf cart, listening to music and talking. And so that's just kind of my PSA. So here we go. I think where we left off is that we were in Placencia, never know how to say it. We were staying at this, staying at this circular Airbnb that had a hot tub in the middle of it. So I have some video that I'll play of this, and I'll stop talking. There, the hot tub gets turned on.
Weirdest fucking house.
And this is the pool that was like 10 feet from our front door. And then there's a lagoon behind the pool there. You can see. Just really beautiful. And here is Mark eating, I think this was a breakfast that we had. Oh yeah, it's SmoQiz barbecue. Really delicious. And here is a barbecue sauce with 3 little spouts on it I had never seen. And this is kind of the sign to get down to the Tipsy Tuna and the Barefoot Bar and just all the fun beachfront bars. And I liked all the little signs that they have there. This is the Barefoot Bar, which was our favorite. It was very rainy the first day we were there. As you can see here, the rain. So one night we got, it was raining. It rained a little bit. It rained a couple of days that we were in this circular house. And the circular house was kind of far away from the beaches and stuff. Not far, but like a 10-minute drive. Not walkable, really. So when it was raining and stuff, we just kind of like hung out in the house and like enjoyed the hot tub and made drinks. And we didn't want to go out to eat. So we went and picked up pasta from this nearby resort. And it was the greatest pasta ever. One night we went to this restaurant called Omar's, which was said to have the best lobster in Placencia. Mark's a huge fan of lobster. I don't care for lobster. Here you can see Mark eating lobster kind of disgustingly. I'm not I just don't see the big deal about lobster. Like I'll eat it. I don't think it's bad. It just tastes like butter. I don't know. It's never been that like incredible to me, but they did make us these really cool, like little craft cocktails. And here's another shot of the very still pool. There was no one ever in it. I think we saw one other person in it for like 5 minutes one day. And so the kitchen, we had a full kitchen. So Mark made breakfast while we were staying in this place. And then we saw iguanas. Growing up, I had 2 iguanas, Leonard and Leah. And so I'm obsessed with iguanas. I love them. It was so interesting to see them in the wild. And so after we left the Circle House, I think we were there for 3 nights. Then we moved down to this little Airbnb right on the beach. You can see here. Super cute. Very simple. It's awesome to be able to walk out the front door and be on the beach. And it was right next to the Barefoot Bar, which was our favorite bar. You can see there was lots of people selling things on the beach. So there's Mark with somebody selling something. There's a little bee on the bar. We are obviously drinking here because the pictures are terrible. I'm filming.
Right.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
It's going fantastic.
Of course I'm talking to you. There's Christy, our favorite. Move your arm. Move your arm. Our favorite bartender at our favorite bar.
It's a great place. We had lobster last night. So fucking delicious. Well, I had lobster. Yeah.
Best bartender here.
That's good.
This was one of my favorite signs because it's like Jaguar crossing. So we left Placencia after this and drove to the airport in Belize City. And we saw lots of these Jaguar crossing signs. So then we were heading to Ambergris Caye, which is one of the bigger islands, the biggest island, I think, off of Belize. You can see up there, it's a little bit north of Belize City. This is the airport in Belize City.
How excited are you to ride this small little airplane?
I'm pumped.
You seem like it. Are you so excited?
He doesn't look excited, but he was really excited. I'd never really been on a plane this small. I'm not sure if he had or not. He probably has. But he was very excited about it. I was honestly a little bit terrified. I was so excited. I probably took too much video here. I was panicking slightly at this point. Like, oh my God, what if this plane doesn't get off the ground? Or what if it comes crashing back into the ground? I'm gripping the ball. And we're finally in the air. You can see once you get further from the island, like the water is just, it's so unbelievable. And I don't know if I include it here or later, but when you're flying over the water, it's so shallow, you can literally see fish and stingray, and it's incredible. So I'm sure this is just some water shots. It was, so first we flew to Caye Caulker, which is the smaller island. While we were there, we let people off, and Mark asked if he could sit in the front seat, and the pilot said sure. So he's like living his best life right here. So Caye Caulker was our first stop. It was like a 7-minute flight from the mainland, and then landed, let people off, and then we got back up in the air. It was like another 5 minutes to get to Ambergris Caye. And this guy like does this flight like, I don't know, 10 times a day. We were amazed with like how fancy the airport is on this teeny tiny island. It was so fancy. And so we got to the airport, and we were like, okay, I want to stop the video from playing and explain something. Sorry. So we got off at the airport at this little island. There's like no baggage claim. There's nothing. You just like get off, grab your bag, and I was told by the Airbnb people, like, we'll pick you up. So I'm like expecting a car, and it's a couple that I was speaking to. And nope, we walk out, and they were like, "Are you Mark?" He's like, "Yeah." And it's a golf cart, and they're like, "Here's the keys." And there's really no address per se for the Airbnb, but it's like you go here on the map, and you'll see signs. You'll be able. We were like, "Okay, how far is it?" And they're like, "Oh, it's like, from here where you are in town, it's probably like 25 minutes by golf cart. It's way up the island." And she showed us on the map, and I was like, oh my God, we're going to get lost. Like, I don't know how we're going to do this. But Mark was I don't know. He was like, okay, let's go. Got in the golf cart, just immediately started driving like a master. Like he's been driving a golf cart for years, and that's all he's ever done. Because the roads were crazy. So anyways, we got in the golf cart. We did find it. And then here is us kind of pulling up. And then this is the first thing we saw. This is like from our front porch. And we were just like, whoa, we're never leaving. I fell in love with this place, really. I still text the captain who lives here. So we stayed at this bottom right little place. And here I just take us on a little walk through the whole area. So walking from our front porch, there's this great little, table sitting area. There's another house property right next to us. There's just all kinds of cute we played cards there one night, cute little, areas, different seating, which I'm a big fan of cute little seating areas. And then, there were just docks lining the beach. Obviously, I guess I probably need to explain that. The water is really clear, really warm. It was just a really special like compound basically. So that building that we stayed in, it's 4 different units. We were on the bottom floor, and then there was like there was up the beach a little bit, another, but still on this property, another little like standalone unit. And then there was a house in the back where Captain Robby, who's his family owns this property. He lived with his granddaughter and son-in-law and daughter. Henry's whining in the background. Sorry, like a little area right there to eat. This really sweet boat that's docked. I had big plans to kayak, but never ended up doing that. We ate dinner at that bench right there one night. It was amazing. It was just, I mean, you know, videos, pictures never does anything the same justice, but and this is one of the coolest things. So if you walk right in between, as I'm doing here, these properties, into the back of the property, this is where you come in from the road. There's an outdoor shower, which I love, like another little sitting area, garden area. Really sweet outdoor shower. I don't know why I just didn't talk on the video as I was taking it. That was an oversight. Just in case you didn't know how a shower worked. That is the view from our room. It was just one room. So the first night we walked to a nearby hotel. We didn't really know what to do for dinner. And Mark got lobster. Big shock. And took 85 pictures of it. This was one night just sitting. There were dogs everywhere. So the big black one laying down is Tongo. It's actually Tango, like Tango and Cash, but the way they said it was Tongo. I fell in love with him. The other 2, I don't know their names, but I fed them all food constantly, left bowls of water out everywhere for them. Oh my goodness, they're so sweet. I let them into the room. We would always take like a beer on the... This is a place called the Truck Stop that we went. It was really cool. It was 3 or 4 different little food trucks, and then it had all kinds of games and stuff that we played. Connect 4, ping pong, whatever that is, cornhole. We went here a couple times. They had great tacos, and I thought it was so funny. You see, I mean, it's all golf carts on the island. There's like very few cars. There are cars, but it's, I don't know, 90% golf cart. Oh, there was even a pool back here at this little truck stop place. And again, that's just to show all of the golf carts. Beautiful sunrise, sunset, I can't tell, but beautiful nonetheless. Lots of sunset and sunrise pictures. That's got to be sunrise, I think. Yeah, after breakfast, I would sit on the beach with Tongo. Oh, loved him. Or maybe this was when I was telling Mark, we're going to bring him to breakfast with us. Oh, and we did. There we are. At the little place next door. And he just followed us right along to breakfast. And then followed us right home afterwards.
Yeah. Just had a good breakfast. He knows that you're holding the food. He's taking a potty.
And we took a little relaxing after breakfast. And now I think I just have a lot of video of us just driving, because it was a great way to be able to show you. There are so many different parts of this island. There's some really kind of crappier parts, some really beautiful parts. I mean, it's all beautiful, honestly. And then just the crazy driving. We brought a speaker with us the whole time so we could like listen to music while we were driving around. A lot of days we would just bring a couple beers, bring the speaker, and drive all over to explore. didn't say it's just golf carts, golf carts. Golf carts. The roads were terrible. It was so bumpy.
Where are you taking us?
We would just stop at different bars. This bar was right over the water. It was so beautiful. There was never anybody at anywhere. I couldn't understand it. All the bars were empty, but the streets were always filled with people. There's Tonga waiting to come into the room. He was such a good boy. I took a lot of pictures of this dog. And when we got home, I texted Captain Robby almost immediately, like, how is he? Is he okay? He had a terrible cough, and I really wanted to be able to take him home with me and then take him to the vet, but, you know. Oh, the coolest water thing in the room. It's not cold, but I mean, really, I loved it, obviously. Oh, I took even a little video of how it works. You just plug it into the wall. Oops, and then I spill. And more.
This is like great.
Probably too much golf cart videoing, but it was just so cool and so fun. Just some pictures of town, all the golf carts parked on all the streets, very narrow streets. But really just so beautiful. I think here we kind of like got lost in a very bumpy residential area.
I don't think this is a beach for Airbnb. I think it's a turnaround spot.
I love hammerhead sharks. So we saw this hammerhead shark statue at this one bar in town. There was a lot of just kind of bar hopping, you know? And driving. It was really one of our favorite activities, aside from snorkeling, which was mine. But I'm a bit more of an ocean person than Mark. Really, really windy one day. I think that's what I was trying to capture here, and it really doesn't do it justice. Oh, Tango. this was the night it was just, I guess you can kind of hear it. It was just, a lot of the time it was so still. And then one night it was just so windy, which was great because it gave us a real nice break from the mosquitoes. There was a lot of mosquitoes at the time we were there. So then one day we went to the neighboring island, the Caye Caulker, which is really teeny tiny island. It's like a mile long or something. We actually got off the plane.
That's what.
And just
videoing you as before we hop on our 5-minute flight to the sister island.
They just give you this boarding pass. It was so fun to travel with.
Travel boat in his element.
Let's go to Caye Caulker. Let's fly 4 minutes over.
He was just excited to like, oh, we don't pack a bag. We just like hop on a plane and this is what we're doing for the day. Just the day trip. It's really inexpensive flights. This flight was packed though. Different airline. This was Tropic Air. Yeah, the previous one was Maya Air. They really packed us into this little flight. But we got off the airplane and we were like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, we're just here for the day. That's me sitting in the back all smushed in. And we, I don't know what we thought. So it's called the split. You can see the island got split in two there. And there we are at the split once we actually get there. But we just left the airport and just walked like 25 minutes to end up at the beach where all the bars are.
Kidding? If we have just...
Very, very beachy little place. And I actually have a fun, interesting story from here. Loved being able to sit in the water and drink. Really hate taking pictures of myself. So didn't try to take as little as possible, but try to take a few. I have 1,000 pictures of Mark, obviously, since I hate being photographed. And he has no problem with it, obviously. I fell in love with these pelicans that were just all around us at this like in-water seating. This one, Mark tried to touch and then it bit him. It was like a cute little baby pelican. I don't know why I was so obsessed with these.
I love a pelican. Love a pelican. Oh. So cool. Handsome boy.
Similarly to the golf cart video, I took way too much video of these pelicans, so please feel free to fast forward.
Handsome boy. Or girl. Oh, look at that one with the white head.
Mark's like, okay, enough with the pelicans. We were
I wish I had some.
We were both a little tipsy at this point.
Pelican party.
Pretty. This bro has been doing whatever this is, kite surfing for like, I don't know, I've been watching it for an hour. My phone fails if I get any closer, but like...
Bummer the music's so loud.
Gotten up, fallen, gotten up. He just walked it all the way from shore back out, and now he's doing it again. Ah, damn. I'm really invested in this right now. I want to see him win. So look at people. This is all I see everywhere. People on their phone, couples on their phone, not even noticing like this. And I don't mean for like a minute. I mean 20, 30, 45 minutes this is happening. What are you doing? Hate it. Look at, here he goes. He's back up. Wish I could zoom more. Super creepily, I'm walking down the beach to watch him a little bit. Like I'm invested in this now. See him win.
Okay, so here we are walking, and this guy comes up to us, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "We're looking for somewhere to eat." We've both had a few drinks. He's like, "I know and we were like, "We want stewed chicken, which is a classic meal here." He's like, "I know the best place for you. Got to go to Mel's. I'll take you." And he's on a bicycle. And we're like, "Okay." So he's like riding slowly. He takes us. We walk up. We follow him. It's somebody's house. And we're like very sketched out. Mark is very sketched. He's like, "We got to go." I was like, "Let's just go with it. It's a really long story. I'll have to tell it later because I'm going to run out of space here. This reminded me of a mini Indiana. Dogs everywhere. It killed me.
Island pilot.
This was a big lobster trap statue that Mark wanted his picture in. And then we didn't fly home. We took a ferry home later that night, which is like a 40 minute ferry ride. Much, much less expensive. I mean, the plane ride was pretty inexpensive too.
There we go.
I don't know why I filmed this for so long. The sound is terrible. So maybe I can turn the volume down on this. But it was cool. I've never really taken a night ferry ride like this. And here we are coming back upon Ambergris Caye. We were exhausted. We had been drinking all day and then, kind of stopped drinking once we got back on the boat, or got on the boat. And so we're pulling in. We're both like, "Oh my gosh, we have to drive all the way back to the house," which is far, which, is like a 20, 30-minute ride on the golf cart.
That Pedro by night. That's like nothing.
This is really our first night driving around.
Wow.
It was hopping. There was a lot of people.
Probably try to grab what we can here and then see if they're cut the other market.
What?
Yeah, this is like the last stop
What's this?
alcohol shop right over this bridge.
Never mind.
So we frequented this little place because it's kind of like going over this bridge, you're leaving like the downtown area and then getting into the more, like, slowly becomes more rural. Okay, this is the most ridiculous bumpy part of the trip, or one of them. It was just comical trying to drive through some of this.
Let's get juice right after we're home. The tacos in our lap.
Oh, I guess we picked up tacos to bring home for dinner. I don't even know how Mark did this, like how he possibly could see. It was impressive.
Just like our casual drive home. Really came up.
like, yeah, shit.
It's like not that bumpy at all.
Where's the road?
I can see it better on my phone than I can see it where you're seeing it. I put on my flashlight. It is really hard to see. You're doing a great job. Is that a dog in the back of that? Let's go with her. It's a little dog. It's a dog. My phone sucks. I can't get stuff. But there's a very cool dog in the back of that golf cart. Pass up. That dog jumps out, I'm gonna cry.
That's sketchy. Well, what's up, baby?
Almost home. This is the worst part. Look at that boy. Look at that dog. Good boy. The worst part. This is me trying to hold my hand as steady as possible. It looks ridiculous. Jeez. Oh my god, they're going to Secret Beach? Sad for them. Almost
the old Tonga boy.
Yeah, hot dogs. Mondo. Sailing through the middle of the nowhere. Careful. That's it.
Technically, I don't know where I live.
I know you know where you live. It just almost feels like you don't sometimes. And now we're home. Best boy. He's always waiting at our door. Mark's doing the dishes. Dango's watching.
Our delicious tacos. Another sunset. This is a random bar like across the island that we went to one day. It's really cute.
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. He's so handsome. Hi. That's okay. Handsome boy. You're beautiful.
With his little tail on.
Okay, we're not
Another little bar that we went to. Got this monstrous drink. Mark playing with the dogs. Went to this great restaurant called Ahi or Aji. I'm not sure. And it was like way back off the road. Wow.
Shares it very well.
This dog is just chilling.
Ready?
Mark really wanted me to capture the ride out of this restaurant.
But maybe go forward, huh?
I read some drinks.
Uh-huh. Here we go. Weirdest fucking restaurant drive ever. Ah,
So much right?
River,
Overall, look at him.
bridge. Oh, whoa.
There goes this way.
What?
Right up. This is the weirdest place ever.
Weirdest place ever.
We got on top bar?
No, we went to this bar at the top of a restaurant or at a hotel. It was terrible. It was like so fancy and
Oh, we already got the...
I just called this driving with Margot and Mark. Waiting for Mark at the bank. Palapa Bar was like one of the most popular bars. I wasn't impressed. There's more driving. I mean, if you watch this, actually, it just seems like all we did was drive the whole trip. We really had fun with it, though.
So unnecessary.
Mark's swimming. Tonka's just waiting there with when I was talking to people because he's always talking to people, which is lovely. But look at that. He's just waiting there. Yeah. A lot of dogs, a lot of driving. I guess that kind of summarizes our trip. This is one, I don't know if this is the first or second day we went on the boat. We went out twice. Got Tongo, Mark. We're going out on a snorkel trip. We caught conch, and then Captain Robby made it into ceviche right on the boat for us while we were snorkeling. It was pretty unbelievable. I wish that these videos didn't go so fast because I have funny stories to share. Tongo. Hang out with us while we get ready.
I forgot that we were talking.
Oh, that face. And then I want to say this is maybe Thanksgiving, our last day, close to our last day. And we were going to pick up some pumpkin pie to give, from the wine lady, this little shop, to give to Captain Rob. Oh, this is the cutest little shop. So we got a pumpkin pie to give to Captain Robby and his family. Our little dock. It's a boat we went fishing on. Look. Ray.
Totally different Ray, too.
Yeah?
See how he has like the long tail?
Yeah. Hard to see when he gets in the seagrass, though.
Look at how many little fish.
Wow! Whoa! There's a ton! God, come back, Ray.
So damn,
I think this was Thanksgiving. We kind of just hung out and drank all day on our own little beach. Here. Let's go back down to ours. Like right here. Because I have to pee. Always kind of funny. Just like mildly.
Not fully, but kind
Is
of.
that like a bird beach?
Oh my God, it is. Pick it up. Here, I'll hold your drink. Get it. Whoa, what is it?
That's like a fish skull. Could be a bird skull. That's kind of birdie.
It looks birdie. Is there... Okie dokie. That can't be the end of the race. Oh my God, it's not. He's right here.
I see him. Stop moving. He's not gonna fuck with you.
He
There's
really
two
pulled
of 'em.
through. Whoa, 2 of them.
Whoa, little ray race.
Whoa. They heard us. They were like, we're coming. We're coming for you. Yeah, they just pulled up and left. Weird. Ray? Ray. Okay. You know, it really makes a difference. Thanksgiving cards. Our last night in Belize.
Tonko.
Handsome boy. Handsome boy. Oh. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving, Django.
We love you.
Eggs and ham. Very white.
Eggs and ham and rice.
It's very white.
Sad for me to leave you.
What a sweet boy. Ridiculously sweet little brother. Whoa, what a boy. He's like sleeping on your feet.
I know.
It was our last sunset. We were pulling away. I think just a few more. This is before our last day. Oh, that's cocktails in the airport. And then we played cards and had quite a few drinks on the plane to tame our sadness. And that was the trip. I feel like it really became a lot of driving and dogs and drinking, which I guess it really was. But that's, I guess in day-to-day life, driving is not something that's like we do all the time. But we do like a drink and we do love dogs. So not that different. I'm going to write myself a note right now. If I have a pen around here, I'm going to record this. Well, I guess I could record it now. So remember I said when we went to the island, that small island, Caye Caulker, we were looking for somewhere to eat. That, before we caught the ferry back, and that guy came up to us and he was riding a bicycle and he said, come with me, I'll show you the best place. And I'm like, okay. And so he took us and we're just walking and chit-chatting. And, again, the whole island is like a mile long, I think. So it's not a long walk. It was maybe like 6 minutes or something. And everything outside of that beachfront area, everything is kind of a combination of residential and like you can't really tell. So we walk up to this house, which is like very clearly a house and not a restaurant. And we said that to him. I think his name was Joel, the guy. We were like, well, this is someone's house. Like, we're not, no, thank you. He's like, no. She serves food to the whole neighborhood. It's really good. Okay. So he like walks us up and we like say, hey, and we like say, she's like, hi, sit down. And so we sit down and then on the porch is Norman and he's missing both of his legs. He's in a wheelchair, shirtless. I don't know, 60, 70 years old. He does not look pleased that we are there sitting on his front porch. But we do it anyways because Mel was the woman's name who owned the house. She was like, sit. Yeah, I'll make you. And we were like, yeah, we'll take whatever your specialty is. Belizean chicken, we'll take it. Great. We sit there for probably 30 minutes and I'm just making conversation with Norman. and Mark is too, but he's like, as time goes on, he keeps looking at me like, come on, what are we doing? And then I can't remember if he texted me or like whispered to me. He's like, I think we should go. Because then like some other people showed up that looked like, you know, this is very judgmental, but they looked a little bit sketchy. And they just kind of like walked into the house, back into the kitchen, came back out and left. I don't know. It all felt a little bit odd. But also we're in a foreign country, not even like where we're actually staying. We're on like a neighboring island just for the day in somebody's home. It was weird. But then she brought out 2 plates of Belizean chicken, stewed Belizean chicken. And oh my God, it was, I mean, we've tried to recreate it so many times and we couldn't. It was fantastic. She, you know, we finished, we're like, thank you so much. And we were like, how much? And for like these 2 giant plates of food and 2, I don't know, Cokes or something, she was like, you know, $20 Belizean, which is essentially $10 US. And we're like, absolutely not. I don't remember how much Mark left her, $100 Belizean, 70, something left her more. It was really the kind of the creepiest and best experience, like unforgettable. I guess maybe I hyped that story up more than I should have. But that was, and then the other story, which I'm sure I've shared, was that second time we went out snorkeling, we wanted to catch more conch. And so the first time we went out, we caught conch. Mark caught lobsters. I refused. I kept trying to make sure the lobsters got away free because they're so cute. And then we swam with sharks and rays that were just in this like one area that Captain Robby knew. So the second time we went out, I just wanted to snorkel more. Like that first day we were out all day and we fished. I caught a fish, which is something I would generally never do. And then we got back after a very, very long day out on the boat. Captain Robby cooked everything that we caught for us. It was incredible. And then I wanted to go out another time because I just wanted to snorkel for like 2 hours, like not fish, not just snorkel and see amazing like underwater seascapes. And so we did that. We did catch conch and Captain Robby made the ceviche. And then he took us to this, he was like, you want to see if we can find some manatees? And I was like, yeah, sure. You know, manatees are cute. I don't know. I had never really thought one way, like I loved sharks my whole life. I used to I had a sketchbook filled of sharks. My dream was always to cage dive with sharks. Like I've been obsessed with sharks since I was very, very young. You know, manatees, cool, amazing, beautiful. Didn't really, you know, great. Sure, I'd love to see a manatee, but that's not like a lifelong dream of mine, like seeing a shark. And so he takes us to this one area, and generally the water is really shallow pretty much everywhere we went. But we get to this one area and it's kind of overcast. The water's really choppy. And he's like, okay, hop out. This is the watering hole. It's like a swimming hole where the manatees come, and the water looks like black from the boat. So I'm like, how is it deep? And he's like, yeah, it's like 50 feet deep. You know, it's like a hole. So there's all this rock that comes almost up to the surface of the water, and it forms like a circle. And in the middle of it, there's no rock, and it's just a straight drop down to the bottom of the ocean. And it looked like every shark attack, National Geographic from Shark Week type thing that I'd ever seen. So I jumped in. Mark was like, no, I'll come join you, but not right now. He does not like deep ocean water. So I jumped in, and the current is strong. And so Captain Robby is like, stay within about an arm's length of the boat. I'm like, an arm's length of the boat? I'm going to get my legs chopped off in the propeller. But okay, I'm trying. So I'm like trying to stay within an arm's length of the boat while also trying to look for, yes, manatees, but more so I was trying to look for sharks to make sure I didn't get eaten, because this felt like that situation. And so I'm like trying to not choke on the salt water, trying to not get my legs chopped off in the propeller, and trying to keep my eye out for deadly sharks and very adorable manatees. All the while trying to not be freaked out. I'm very comfortable in the ocean, but even because it was kind of dark, like overcast out, and then the ocean was so deep there, it was just a very kind of ominous moment and time in the ocean. And so I'm like, okay, trying to calm down. It's going to be fine. And I can only see about maybe 5-6 feet in front of me because the water was just cloudy, because it was windy, it was choppy. So, you know, I don't know how to explain it properly, but like I can see my hand, I can see all kind of directly around me about 5 feet out. But beyond that, it just starts looking really cloudy. And so I just kept picturing the shark just like whoosh, coming out of the cloudy water into my face. And then I hear Mark and Captain Robby above, and Mark's like trying to get my attention. He's like, right over there, right over there. And I can't tell if he's saying it's a shark or it's a manatee. And I kind of don't care at this point. I'm a little bit nervous. And then I saw him say it's a manatee. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking. I don't see it. And then again, with the cloudy water, all of a sudden, literally it felt like out of nowhere, about 2 feet below me, I look and I see this gigantic manatee. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how big. Humongous. 5 times the size of me. Not necessarily in length. I mean, I'm short, but just it was like this giant sea cow, I guess is what they call them, and moving so slowly and elegantly, and so close to me. And then he was so close, I actually had to. I like swam away because I was scared if I touched him, I would scare him. I wasn't scared of him, but I didn't want to scare him. Or I didn't know if like the oils from my skin would be bad for him or something. So he was swimming so close to me that I had to like kick my feet up out of the water to like not touch him. And I just followed him around. I just followed him in this little swimming hole. At one point he swam all the way down to the bottom, and I just like obviously stayed at the top watching him. And then he came back slowly up to the top, all the way up to the top. And then Mark said he saw I saw the manatee put his head up above the water to like, you know, get air, I guess. He's like, and then I looked and then I saw you put your head up above the water and you were like 1.5 feet behind him. I mean, it was really magical. Once the manatee came into the picture, I completely forgot about like the choppy water, the propeller, the sharks. It was just, okay, not completely. There was definitely a little bit of fear still in the back of my mind, but it was, and I remember thinking to myself, just like, take as many pictures in your mind as you can of this. Remember this moment. And I can remember it perfectly. Like I can remember exactly what everything looked like and how it felt. And it was just one of the most, to like come upon a creature like that that's so huge and beautiful and gentle. And I don't know if they still are. I know they used to be endangered. Just so stunning and also a little bit scary. It was the biggest thrill of my life, honestly. It was. And it really made me sad. I really wanted Mark to jump in and experience it with me, but he was not up for it. And then I think once he saw like that I was just having the most incredible moment of my life, he was fine. He was like, I'm just going to let her enjoy this. I wish he could have, so that we could have like talked about it and shared that, but it was, oh my God, it was so special. Just really incredible. That's my manatee story. That was it. That was one of our last days. And I could have just like literally just sat on the beach and did nothing else after that, because I was so fulfilled from that experience. And I think what made a lot of it really special, I think me and Mark had an episode where we talked about all this, so I apologize if we did. I can't remember. So much has happened since then, but is that Captain Robby was, born and raised in Belize, spoke English, but that's not what I want to say. Actually, he spoke very little, and I don't think that's because he spoke English. So I don't think he spoke very little because he didn't like speak good English. He spoke English very well. He just was one of those people who who he didn't need to say a lot. Like he said, when he spoke, you kind of knew like, I should listen because it's going to be something worth listening to. He was a special person. And I don't know, myself and Mark have talked about this. Mark's dad, who unfortunately died right before I got the chance to meet him. But Jenna, everyone who knew his dad has said that he was such a special person. Just one of those people that is different than everyone else, just has this kindness and this heart to them that you can feel when you're around them. And that's and so I picture Mark's dad having a similar kind of like vibe or aura to Captain Robby. That's the type of he just, he didn't need to say a lot. He had these kind eyes. He loved where he lived. He loved Belize. He loved his family's property. He loves the ocean. This is probably boring for everyone. But he was, I wish I had taken a picture with him. I can't believe we didn't. He was just a really special person. And his son-in-law, Thomas, equally special. Maybe not equally because he was very young. He was, I don't know how old, but younger than me, for sure. And he was also though, very special, very, incredible in the ocean, just like a fish. It was quite the experience. So if anyone ever is going to Belize, please reach out and let me, I almost don't want to, but I will give you the name of this Airbnb, and I have Captain Robby's number. It is the number one thing I would recommend doing in Belize. And with that, this has been, I didn't think I was going to do the whole thing. It was a lot longer than I thought. So let's see if I can edit this together. And yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching / listening, guys.